And here we are, the last Primarch I haven't talked about. One of my favorite Primarchs that is yet to return to the Warhammer setting. And that is, of course, Vulkan, the Primarch of the Salamanders. So, yeah, I've done basically all the other Primarchs that have yet to return. Key phrase, have yet to return. I'm not talking like Fulgrim or Lion or Rabute, or all those have come back. All this series of videos were like Russ, Alfarius, Corvus Corax, like I said, Alfarius, Lehman, all of those. And we're also, for these videos, if you're wondering, well, how would you bring back like Ferris and Conrad and all the others? My thing is, I wouldn't. Like Sanguinius, I'm actually going to do a video to like cap off this little series I've been doing. I've been thinking about it for a while, is basically like, yeah, I want to do that as a video to like end this whole thing of like talking about how to bring them back. But there's also like a whole video I want to do of talking about like why the Primarchs that were killed during the Horus Heresy need to stay dead. That's going to be the thing, is like I want to do a video talking about why I think the Primarchs like Manus and Sanguinius, Conrad and Alfarius Omegon, whoever it fucking was, those Primarchs need to stay dead for the sake of story. Anyway, but let's actually talk about one Primarch who is still out there because he's a perpetual, and that is Vulkan. So Vulkan is a major, is literally one of the best and most beloved Primarchs in the Warhammer community. Obviously, Primarch of the Salamanders, he's a wholesome boy who burned Eldar children. Yes, that happened, but I think a lot of people forget that, like, one of the things that Vulkan, what happened afterwards was that Vulkan felt really bad about it. Like, he was like, man, I shouldn't have done that. And there's a lot, and that's going to play into, you know, what I would like to, how I would bring Vulkan back into the Warhammer setting. So the big thing is, let's actually talk about the fact that Vulkan is a perpetual, meaning he can't really die. He can keep coming back, much like the Emperor who's sitting on his corpse throne. You know, suck it all, loyalists. Anyway, as I was saying, the big thing that you have to understand with Vulkan is that Vulkan is like the heart of his brothers. He was the one who treaded softly and carried a big stick. That was always Vulkan's thing, was that he was the one who showed the most empathy, and, you know, he showed love and kindness to others. But at the same time, he was also of the mindset of, he was also very much of a mindset of, if shit goes sideways, I will beat you with this hammer. So that was his thing going forward, is that he was the embodiment of tread softly and carry a big stick, or in this case, a big hammer. So how I think Vulkan should come back is that we're not going to use the whole thing of the Salamanders, this whole thing of, if we find the 8 treasures of Vulkan, that will bring him back. No, what this is going to be about is that I actually have a pretty insane idea, and it actually could work, if you just, like, give me a moment to explain. I think how you should bring Vulkan back into the setting is actually have that Vulkan's been back the whole time. Yeah, have it that Vulkan has been alive this whole time. Like, he got resurrected in the time frame of, like, the 10,000 year gap between 40k and 30k. Like, have it that he came back on his own. And you may be thinking, well, why did, you know, well, that's kind of dumb. People would know about it. See, the thing of it is that the galaxy is pretty fucking large. And there's a lot of places to hide. So what I'm saying is that how I think this could work is that you already have that Vulkan came back sometime in that 10,000 year gap. And Vulkan has just been living in self-imposed exile. But why, Multi? Why would Vulkan live in self-imposed exile if he was the first Primarch? Technically, if you were to retcon that he was technically the first Primarch to return before Rabute and Lion. Like, why would you do that? Because like I said, Vulkan has the most heart of his Primarch, of his brothers. He was the one who was given, you know, the most heart and soul of the other Primarchs. He loved a lot. And in doing so, he saw and committed a lot of atrocities during the Horus Heresy. And while he took pride in it, you know, he took pride that he was defending the Imperium, there would be points where, like, the Vulcan would be like, I can't do, like, even seeing the state when he comes back, like, you could have it that when he came back, his first thought was to go back to go back to Terra and look for, and, you know, launch a search for his brothers, bring the Imperium back, you know, fight against the darkness of chaos and Xenos and what have you. But I would have it that Vulcan has this moment of, no, I saw what we became, and we didn't get better. All of our father's teachings were thrown right out the goddamn window the moment Horus turned on us. Like, the second the heresy happened, it took me so long to realize that our father was, you know, I would have that he was talking to, like, Rabute or Lion, and I'll get to them in a minute. But, like, I would have a moment where, like, he's talking to either Lion or Gilliman, and he's just like, we did the most horrendous shit during the war with our brothers. And we tore the galaxy asunder. We decimated the stars. And you know what humanity did when all was said and done? Did they keep our teachings of the great imperial truth? No, they made Father a god, and they basically, you know, now commit holy wars on every living thing. And you, like, I would have it that if this was Rabute who found him first, it was like, and you acquiesce to it. You know, I think, like, Vulcan would have a lot of, like, self-reflection. Out of, like, and that's the big thing with a lot of with Rabute and Lion, is that they've had nothing but time to reflect on who they were during the heresy and what the Imperium has become. You know, Lion doesn't know, you know, Lion's more self-reflective, because he doesn't know, as of right now, he doesn't know the full state of what the Imperium is like. Gilliman does. He has to, like, accept that, you know, this whole imperial religious fervor for his father is a thing, and he can't fix it without starting some kind of another civil war. Like, he can't stop that. I think that would be the thing Vulcan would understand, is that Vulcan would be kind of in exile, because, like, he would know all of this and be like, yeah, we fought for nothing. Like, all we did was just have humanity limp along in this shell of this grand form that our father wanted for us. So I would genuinely, I think that would be the best idea for Vulcan, not just have him, like, you know, come back from all the salamanders get the 8 Dragon Balls, essentially what they are, the 8 magical MacGuffin pieces, and bring Vulcan back in glorious fashion. He's like, get me my hammer, I'm here to fight for the Imperium. I would have it, yeah, he's been alive this whole time, and he's immortal, so he hasn't really aged, and Vulcan is now just chilling. Like, he's just chilling on some backwater planet, maybe some hiding in some on some wayward, not fully explored planet, and maybe even have that another race found him, like the Tau or something, and they're just like, who the fuck are you? And he's like, I'm Vulcan, I don't matter. Like, he wouldn't even say his name's Vulcan, but I think, like, the Tau would, like, scan him and be like, oh, he ain't human. You know, he's human-like, but there's something up with this guy. So I would really like to play with that kind of idea. Now, if it was Gilliman who found him, like, that would be a great choice of words between the two of them, because he would, like, look at Gilliman and be like, you were supposed to be the smartest of us, brother, and you continue to let this charade happen, and look at what the Imperium you've been leading is so far. You know, what's going to happen if you die? Like, what's going to happen if you die again? Or, you know, the High Lords of Terra just decide you're not worth it anymore. What's going to happen to you? I think that would be a really neat idea, to have that Vulcan is just kind of like, I'm not a traitor, and I'm not a coward, I don't care anymore. Like, I saw what we became, I saw what humanity became, and I don't want that. I fought and did horrible things, and while I did take pride in, like, certain things we did for the war, I'm proud that we stood against Horus and, the forces of chaos. But after coming back, we did nothing with it. Humanity did nothing with it, and I grieve for what the Imperium has become now. That's what I think would be the big thing with Vulkan, is that he would just be kind of like, it's not treason or cowardice, it's shame. And I'm ashamed of myself, of what I did. I'm ashamed of humanity, and I'm ashamed of our father. Yeah. I think that would be a much cooler and more introspective way. If it was Lion, you know Lion would immediately just draw his sword and just call him a coward and rush at Vulkan, and Vulkan would just be like, brother, no. But yeah. So that's kind of the idea, that's kind of the idea I had for like Vulkan's return. But you guys tell me in the comments below, how would you bring Vulkan back into the world of Warhammer 40k? Something like this, or something different? Maybe like using the 8 relics? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.